Alright, welcome back. I think we just got, well, all the main characters that we can get. So it is time. We shall dip back into the Unbreakable Spear. The second story is available. And let me log in first. Oh. And we get Gian's theme. I don't lie, they cook with that theme too, it fits. Alright, on day 8. And we do get some more tickets. Like there's a lot more tickets I can get, so I shouldn't disparage the ones I've lost. But where's story 2?
I know I'll never see them again, but I still miss them. I'm sorry.
Right here. I see. They went back inside. Okay. Well, let's see what you all have planned. Oh, wow. Wow. Okay, are we just shifting focus? Is that the case? Because, well, actually, maybe, because this is a seashell and this is the hearts. They want to make sure you know what you can be missing it. Yeah, I can't. I mentioned it when I summoned Mihara, but yeah, I cannot say the safe word. Nope, not at all. But let's get our team, the full team.
If you call, I will come.
So I'm guessing
Let's go and find everyone.
you should be in the
Shall we
center
go,
now.
Uni?
Even if you bring me along, I won't be of any help. I will go with you.
Sure. Well, sure. We'll do that. Let's go.
I remember when I first opened my eyes and found myself here. An infinite black void.
I can imagine.
All that stared back at me was cold seawater and endless bits and bobs from the surface which Gluttony had swallowed, as well as a red core.
That's terrifying. That's literally people's fear that I forgot what it was posted. I need to keep that name on me. But yeah.
At first, I used my abilities to try every possible method of escape. I tried shooting bubbles at the core.
You did?
I tried using my Kotodama. None of it worked. Gluttony was different than ordinary raptures. It was moving by primal instinct alone.
Well, yeah, we know that's why it wouldn't listen to you.
The result was that my Kotodama had no effect on it. Gluttony seemed to prioritize its urge to consume above all other instincts. When I'd exhausted all possible means of escape, I started to become afraid.
I can imagine.
Was I going to die in this place?
That's utterly terrifying.
Once I was digested, what kind of attack would Gluttony unleash on the outside world?
And that's a good point too. He went after you because of your bubble exploding. I mean, it might have had something to do with Levi too, but still.
What would happen if Gluttony found out about the nature of my bubbles? Was I doomed to fail once again? Without achieving anything? It was at that moment that I remembered a promise I'd once made to a few friends. She told me that from now on, our story was no longer one of failure, but a fairy tale.
I'm gonna be honest though, there's nothing fairy tale like about what you've been through.
One with a happy ending. I became determined not to give up. My friends were surely out there, trying their best in order to keep that promise too.
Yeah, that's another thing. If you're thinking that they're out working and you've been doing nothing.
I couldn't give up. I had to struggle with all my might. In order to keep myself alive, I had to create more bubbles. I expanded the protective bubble around myself in order not to be detected by Gluttony's core. surrounding remnants from the surface and created a space where I could live.
Nah, real talk, that is the definition of what I feel. That perseverance is top notch.
I crafted a tree out of bubbles, fabricated a bubble workshop, and built all the places where I lived with you guys. I also made dolls that resembled my friends and launched them up to the surface. I hoped that someday, perhaps my friends would encounter these doppelgangers.
That's why they mentioned it seems like they're all over everywhere, because Gluttony was everywhere they are, Gluttony was.
And come looking for me.
Which is interesting. Levi couldn't sense that Gluttony was. I would think if Gluttony came anywhere near Levi's territory, she would tear it to shreds.
I continued making the bubbles and launching them up to the surface.
Because the difference is, we didn't travel in the black liquid, but I guess Gluttony traveled far below it? I'm not sure.
Again and again, I did this. I waited for a long time. At times, the loneliness was excruciating. I'd considered giving up more than once.
And again, that's understandable.
Even in the deepest depths of my despair, my longing to see my friends trumped all else. I wanted to uphold the promise I made on that day. And so I strengthened my resolve countless times and pushed on. Then you guys came, swallowed whole by Gluttony. I was terribly worried for you all. But paradoxically, I was also ecstatic to finally have company.
And that's interesting that he didn't consume any others in that whole time.
During my time alone, I had learned how to control my kotodama. And being able to talk, laugh, and live with you all filled me with ineffable joy. That's how much you all mean to me. Your presence here was a gift. I'm so glad I was able to meet you all. I'm not afraid of the end anymore.
I wish you were. That's even more alarming.
I'm no longer scared. I'm no longer lonely. So don't blame yourselves. And live well.
Are they gonna jump back in? Because that seemed to be what the image was showing.
Siren.
Wait, what?
What?
Why are you back here? Yeah.
Are you awake?
See, again, this is that thing, just like Matisse. I trust Mana, but you're not in charge.
Who? Nice to meet you. I'm Mana of the MMR squad.
In fact, you directly cannot do anything against Jian's wishes if there's that backstory is anything to go off of. Yeah, I had a feeling they were kind of cut off there. Yeah, again, I'm about to skip this, unless it's something different.
It's already over? That's a shame. It felt good.
Yeah, okay, I'll show that, but let's keep going. Why would they go back to the art? Well, I mean, why would they take?
Are you Mori from the incubator squad?
Yes, why?
Yes.
I see.
Where am I?
I mean, I know that Mihara and Uni have to check in, but if you read those messages.
This is Reclamation Site 01.
Oh, we're not at the Ark. Okay. That's right, we do have a base up. It's not to say Jian wouldn't make her way there, but I think it's unlikely.
It's the first area on the surface that we've successfully reclaimed.
Yes, if for those unaware, this is us. Our base. The counters. We worked our way up to the surface, and we claimed a spot. And this is where we are, like they said, it's like our first base, our forward base. Any other operations we make will be from here, but this is not the Ark.
Have you heard of it?
I have, but what am I doing here?
Which, yeah, if that's the case, can't we get in contact? Actually, we're coming back, aren't we? Laplace had her arms injured. So we should be coming back. I don't know if we'll link up, but...
Once we were out of danger, Wardress brought you back here.
Okay, that was smart. That was smart.
Are Mihara and Uni?
They're outside. Would you like to go meet them?
Yes.
Mori.
Mihara, what happened to Gluttony?
It swam away, or what would you even call going through the ground? Tunneled away? Yeah, tunneled away.
Where's Siren?
Gluttony left.
No. Is there any way we can follow it? We need to go save Siren.
We might be able to, like I said, the Ark is one thing, but the reclamation site is different. We may be able to, did we install something that can help?
It's possible for us to track it, but...
It's far. Like, how would you even catch up to it?
Then let's go. We have to hurry before it gets too far.
Actually, there is a way. You can lure it with another pillar.
We can't do that.
What?
We can't go.
Do you hear what you're saying? Don't you want to save Siren?
She said can't. I'm assuming there's something, you know, other than want at play here.
Of course I do. But tracking Gluttony is impossible.
Yeah.
Why not?
Mori, do you know what kind of rapture Gluttony is?
No, I don't. And I don't care.
Well, you have to care some.
Besides...
No. This is something you need to know.
Yeah.
Siren risked her life to save your own. I can't let you go rushing headlong into danger without knowing anything, even if it is because you want to save her.
Yes. Yes, that part. See, this is what I said. Well, yeah, this is what I always say. Some of the worst things done are done with good intentions. You have to be smart as well. It's not enough to just want to do the right thing. You gotta do your research. You know, you gotta weigh all your options and truly consider what the best path is. Otherwise, you could end up doing much more harm than good.
If you end up throwing your life away recklessly, all of Siren's sacrifices will be in vain. Gluttony appeared during the first Rapture invasion.
Yes.
A Tyrant-class Rapture. After humanity went into the Ark, it rarely showed up.
Which is... Well, I would say it's interesting, but I know something about... Should I say? Depends on what Mihara says.
And so the only information we have on it is from old records. It consumed an ICBM intended to destroy the lift.
Yes.
Then expelled all that energy back at the launch site and utterly decimated it.
Yes.
From that point on, humanity stopped using large-scale armaments against Rapture facilities.
And hence why it was so shocking. The AA pillar isn't even really an ornament. It's meant to, like... I mean, it can be used as a weapon, I suppose, but it's meant to create.
That's probably why Siren insisted on staying behind. If Gluttony digests the AA pillar, and the energy contained within it, this entire region would be wiped off the map.
Is it really that dangerous?
Yes, it absolutely is.
Yes, it is. It's a miracle that we were able to get out of that thing alive. And here you are, wanting to rush back towards it. Are you sure you can do that? You're afraid of fighting run-of-the-mill ordinary raptures.
Oh, now, there are certainly parallels between Mori and Levi.
When you stand in front of Gluttony, are you sure you won't lose your nerve?
Yeah. And again, that's completely understandable. But we just can't go rushing in and then that happens. Well, Levi happened, that was different, I feel. They were literally run up on, you know, they had to fight or flight. But trying to go looking for it is different. You have to be ready if you're going to do that.
Besides, this isn't a problem which can be solved with willpower alone.
Yeah, no, you actually need power. Like, a lot of power. Not saying that what Uni has can't I don't know what upgrades you. But then again, because I saw it in the comments and I was also thinking it as well. Jian might have done all this to Uni strictly for the purpose of that box. Because I mentioned in a comment, Uni and Mihara are still two of Macilla's best, especially now. They're not they're not Matisse, but if they do well, that reflects positively on Suyin. Damaging them in any way intentionally hurts Suyin's position even more, especially with what's happened with Laplace's arms. In short, Jian is actually sabotaging Suyin. So the idea that she did this to Uni because she was upset on Suyin might be a ploy to actually do what she wanted to do. And she doesn't really care that much about Suyin. It's possible. But it also is possible that you do have some heavy ornaments in here. I don't know. But the important part is, I'm not sure. Well, no, Siren did mention something about Uni's core. Well, either way, long story short, you need to be able to fight that thing. You need firepower. And not one that it can just absorb and shoot back at you.
Even if you are willing to risk your life, you most likely won't be able to make a dent in that beast. You'd be throwing your life away. I understand that it's a bitter pill to swallow, but there are some things which we are powerless to change. This is one of them. You can't do this, Mori. You must give it up. The best thing for us to do now is rest. In the meantime, we can take our time to mull this over.
Yes. Think it through, consider your options. Don't just rush in, that you don't have the weaponry required.
Let's go,
I'm not stupid. I know that. I know that if I go out there, I'm signing my own death warrant. That I might die without being able to do anything.
But you might not be able to live with yourself if you don't try.
Especially since we're talking about me. Someone who's afraid of even regular raptures. I realize I'd be powerless against something like gluttony. You're right. The right thing for a weak Nikke from the incubator squad to do is give up. But I can't. I can't get it out of my head. I can't abandon her.
I respect that. Just all I'm asking for you to do is consider your approach. Rushing in headlong, that's just guaranteed to fail.
She was the first person who told me she was glad I was alive. Even if I get chewed up, melted into a puddle, whatever it is, I want to go save her.
Like I said, I really do respect that. I more than respect that. That's admirable.
I can't live knowing that she gave up her life for mine. So...
Huh.
Mori.
Please. Just this once. Could you help me?
I don't know what they can do. I haven't seen them fight since they got their upgrade. Oh, I mean, yeah, okay. I know what their originals can do, but I don't know what they're upgraded for. It seems like Mihara kept her abilities. Don't know if Uni kept hers, actually.
I know what I did to you is unforgivable. I know how shameless this request is. I'm perfectly aware that I should be asking for forgiveness instead of a favor. So I'll do anything. If you go with me, I will do anything.
No, I don't know if I made my stance clear, but I care for Mori. And I wasn't angry when I was saying before. Just want you to be safe. Because, again, you losing your life at all this is not something I want.
I put my life entirely in your hands. If you tell me to submit a false report, I'll do it.
Oh, well, I mean, I think we gotta... Wait, is this where the text message is coming now?
I will give you anything and everything I have. You give the order, any order, and I'll obey.
If you want me to die in your place, I'm willing to do it anytime.
Huh.
So please, help me. Just this once. I don't have any special skills or connections.
I think you do, though. Maybe you're... I don't know how, but you tunnel. That's gotta be foreshadowing for something, I think. I have no idea what it might be, but...
All I can do is beg. So here I am, on my knees, begging you to help me chase after Gluttony. Please.
I knew this would happen.
You really did.
Once someone has been shown love, they'll never give up. Such affection. Such sorrow. I suppose we don't have much choice, do we?
I mean, you do, but it's not your personality.
If you're that determined, Mori, let's go save Siren.
But again, I just want some, like a fraction of a plan, like 1%.
Mihara.
Rushing in, that's 0.
But we can't rush in without a plan.
There we go.
Before we make our move, we need to find a clue as to how to take down Gluttony.
Again, I do, like, if you just knew Matisse was coming back, because I think if... Actually, what their weapons make things worse. I don't know.
If we don't do that, then this isn't a rescue operation, but a suicide mission. Understand?
I understand.
All right then. Let's go see what we can find out.
Nah, I like that lineup. Okay, I'm probably gonna skip this again.
I just got hit. It felt good.
Whoa, did you hear that line? Okay, we're gonna move on. I'm sorry, I wanted to cut, but that was just, I had to, what? Okay. You know, again though, we should really have it to where Mana is approved personnel, I think. Mana may have just let them in. Still, I would like a list. Like that's my base. All right, I need to know who's running through that. Because if someone like Gian does appear, I want to know. We need logs, all that stuff.
So that's why you came to see me?
So did you launch the pillar from here? If so, then that makes sense, I suppose.
Yes, we came seeking whatever knowledge you have on Gluttony.
I already provided you with all the basic information about Gluttony.
That makes sense.
Indeed, and we thank you for that.
So what more do you need to know?
Are you aware of there being any way to take it down?
Gluttony, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, it actually did, was taken down by the ICBM. It just launched a blast in the process.
I figured with you being the way you are, you'd have considered potential ways to eliminate it.
Me? Why would you think that?
Because you're you.
When we were swallowed by Gluttony, I heard you say to us, "Get away from there immediately." Isn't that because you were in the middle of dropping the AA pillar?
Yes.
How did you know that?
Because we have it, we saw it.
We saw the AA pillar inside Gluttony's stomach.
The AA pillar is still inside Gluttony?
Yes. And we should worry about that.
Yes. In order to prevent that energy from being absorbed, the Nikke who saved our lives is still inside Gluttony. So, in order to rescue her, we need a way to subdue Gluttony, even if it's only momentarily.
If we have to use logic, someone who can do that was an invaluable asset to the team.
Is there any way to make that happen?
The fact that you all came back alive after being consumed by Gluttony is surprising enough. Now I'm being told there's still someone inside?
All because of that one person. They're an incredible God squad tier. We have to.
Is she a pilgrim?
I mean, I guess technically.
We're not sure, but most likely, yes.
That at least increases our chances of a successful rescue. We're conducting joint research into this incident, along with the central government.
Oh, well, that makes sense. I mean, yeah, you do need to tell them. You do need to, like, everybody needs to know, do not launch these pillars willy-nilly unless we can take this thing down.
So, I'm not at liberty to act on my own and divulge information.
Yeah, I know.
I see.
What I can do for you is introduce you to someone else who could help.
And who would that be?
Would that be all right?
Who would that be?
Hello. Since this is my first operation with Wardress, allow me to introduce myself.
You can help?
I'm Shifty, an operator from the Central Government's Intelligence Division.
Okay, well, you do have all our info. Maybe that's how.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Shifty.
But we've never fought Gluttony.
I'm seeing a few faces that don't belong to Wardress, at least according to the database.
Just one. Wait, oh, you don't know Uni's okay. To give backstory, because I'm not sure how often Shifty has appeared. Shifty is normally the operator for the counters. There's some other stuff that may or may not be relevant. Yeah, let me say that. At one point, Suyin was posing as Shifty, which is why her name was Shifty. In fact, it might have been the first part of the game where that was the case. So if that was the case, then they might be talking to their boss. But no, I think there'd be a different reaction. So. Because they're all Bacillus.
Since you mentioned this operation involves a few secret agents, I won't ask any questions.
Okay.
That's very considerate of you.
Mana briefed me on the situation. You all escaped from inside Gluttony. And now you're planning to track it down in order to rescue the pilgrim that's still inside. Is that correct?
And we don't have communication back to even the reclamation site, so I don't think they can contact us either.
Yeah, that's correct. Is there any way we could receive support from the central government?
The central government? No, there's only one team that they could possibly send that could be a use to you, at least. Unless Deep can do any. Deep is just weird, all right? And Deep is Bacillus.
That would be somewhat difficult.
Yeah.
Unless Gluttony poses a direct threat to the central government,
Why would they do that?
they've decided not to actively pursue it.
And that makes sense. It's dangerous.
So you mean they're just leaving it alone?
I figured that's the conclusion they'd reach.
It's understandable. Make preparations, but don't actively go after it. Especially if they know. Actually, again, I don't know how many people know of Cinderella, but they might just hope that we take care of it.
May I ask why they decided on that course of action?
Yeah, I genuinely am curious. Can you ask that question?
Probably because they haven't found a way to eliminate it yet.
That makes sense. Like I said, to remind people of at least where the Ark is concerned. Currently, well, yeah, as far as the Ark is concerned, Rappy is the strongest. That's unquestionable, undeniable. As a single unit is concerned. Team-wise, Absolute, which is Elysian's squad, and Matisse, currently with us on the mission right now. And unofficially, we have Cinderella and Grave with us as well. That's it. So the only squad that is possible, and you met Absolute, they were Rappy's old teammates, and they were in when Rappy transformed. That's who she was talking to. But if you take them away from the Ark, then that's your best defense. So, yeah, all of it. I don't know where Mihara's upgrades put her, but nevertheless, that's who they got.
You think so?
Of course. After it swallowed the AA pillar like it was nothing, we've been at a loss as to how to take it down as well. We haven't come up with any definite way to destroy Gluttony. At least, not at the moment.
We did think of attempting an extermination operation by deploying an elite combat squad from the Ark, the counter squad.
Yeah, that part. But even when I said it, I said you would need everyone. Like, this is an Avengers level threat.
However, given that the Ark has recently suffered a large-scale attack,
Yes, we've talked about that at length.
it was decided that reinforcing the Ark's defenses was our top priority. As far as I know, our current strategy is to refrain from proactive engagement.
But we're out. Like, we're not at the Ark right now, at least unless I'm getting the timeline wrong.
I see. I suppose that means we don't know of any way to restrain Gluttony either.
So then with all those options, unless Cinderella and Grave come on their own in time, to me it seems the best thing to do would be to use the AA pillar inside to somehow blow it up, but also keep you all safe. That's the best I can think of.
Siren.
Actually, that's not entirely true. It's far from exact, but,
There's a way?
well,
We have found a way to damage it.
Oh, really?
The only thing is that the method is rather extreme, and it requires a big sacrifice.
Is it what I just said?
As such, we've designated it as unviable.
When you say sacrifice, what do you mean?
Yeah, what kind of sacrifice?
Someone has to enter through Gluttony's mouth and plant this onto its core.
Oh! I didn't even think about the core part. Yeah, we can see its core. Behemoth's crystal, of course.
Are those crystals?
Okay, so, not sure if I gave a detailed explanation on what Behemoth's crystals even do. In fact, they're probably gonna do it right now. So let me just wait and see if they'll do it.
E2 crystals, to be precise. Harvested from the crystal region.
Is that what we're calling them now?
They have a unique property where they absorb electrical energy upon contact. They then continue to expand until all energy is depleted.
Yes, and that is why we took out LaPlace's arms as soon as they were on her arms. That's basically death to them. Well, I mean, humans have electricity in them as well, but still. Point is, Behemoth was very scary, to be honest. Both strength-wise and controlling those crystals. Literally, getting Cinderella was like, oh, thank goodness, we can actually fight now instead of getting washed. Not to mention Grave was also fighting us at the time as well, so... yeah, it was just bad. It went from bad to now we're on top of the world. But anyways.
They are dangerous to Nikkes as well as Raptures.
Yeah.
Unless sealed within glass, like so, it will instantly consume anything it touches.
But that's a good idea. Behemoth's crystals are one of the ultimate, like they're deadly to anything that relies on electricity. So you put it near the core and let it do the work. That's a good idea. No need for anything flashy.
If we're able to plant that onto Gluttony's core...
And once again, that's probably why we haven't gotten Behemoth yet. Because if we help Levi and Behemoth was also on our side, GG's, bro. GG's. Anybody hit with those crystals? Wait, why didn't Behemoth win then? When they were fighting? You know what? I got that's for later. Let's focus on now.
Yes.
Behemoth is still in a core form as far as we know.
No matter how adept that creature is at absorbing and discharging energy, there would be no way for it to counteract a parasitic organism attached directly to its own core.
Except it has raptures inside of it, so it might be able to... No, it's inside its core. They might damage its core if they try to get rid of it.
Barring any unforeseen circumstances, I'm positive this could take it down.
So then you can go back inside. That would stop Siren from continuing. Tell Siren the plan, and Siren can definitely get it there.
Then what are we waiting for?
That's a plan.
Gluttony isn't simply going to sit still and let us plant this on it.
Oh yeah, you gotta find it and get back inside. That's the problem.
That's why this method was deemed infeasible.
Precisely. There had never been a recorded case of anyone escaping from Gluttony after being consumed by it.
Makes sense. Again, I think only one person can do that, even of all the powerhouses we know. You need to be able to manipulate, well, actually two. Levi.
But then you guys showed up. You all came shooting back up out of Gluttony like some kind of miracle.
But that's all it is. A miraculous fluke, yes, but a fluke nonetheless.
No, it wasn't a fluke. It was Batman level planning.
If you were to go back inside, the chances of coming out alive...
I mean, if Gluttony's down, then it's down. We can just stay there.
are still close to zero. Even with that pilgrim still being inside the beast. If something were to go wrong during your attempted entry, we would have no safeguards in place to respond to such a situation.
But that's at least risk, not suicide.
Right. If its mouth closes before you're all the way inside, or if the silver liquid touches you, you'd melt instantly.
That's true. Yes. Yes.
I'll do it.
This isn't a decision you should make lightly.
Nah, that's enough of a plan.
I'm not making it lightly. I told you. It doesn't matter what happens to me. I want to save her. So I'll do it.
Mori.
I can do it.
All right.
That determination's a strength. That's definitely a strength.
In that case, there are two remaining uncertainties.
Where to find it and how to get it to come up. I can think of how to do both, but I don't know if the arc will allow that.
A method to lure Gluttony, and a way to keep its mouth open and hold it in place.
Yeah. And what worked before will work again.
If we can find answers to those two quandaries, it'd go a long way to ensuring the operation is successful.
But even I have to admit, that's way too much risk. Siren's already trying to get rid of the first one. If the second one, that'll defeat Gluttony, but also cause the very thing we're trying to avoid.
A way to hold it in place.
You don't have any ideas at all?
No, we haven't come up with a solution for that yet. That's another reason why this operation was never attempted.
I see.
Okay. That should be enough information to go on.
Though you know who you could ask? Eden wouldn't be a bad place. That's Dorothy's area. I can't see a reason why Dorothy wouldn't relish, especially if her area gets credit for taking out Gluttony. They might have something.
Does that mean?
But again, see, there's so many levels to like higher ups right now. These three, they're getting some access that they normally wouldn't have privilege to, but they don't have access to all that classified information.
Yes. Let's go save Siren. Thank you both for your help.
Yeah, that was great though.
We will think of the rest ourselves.
That's quite a task to do though.
Understood.
We have the device though. Actually, will Uni's core draw Gluttony to the surface? Indoors?
How in the world can we hold Gluttony in place?
Do you two have an ability?
Mori, I've been thinking.
Yeah?
Remember how you told us you were willing to do anything?
Okay.
Yes. I'll do anything you tell me to. Just say the word.
Then, could you perhaps
Give you her phone?
lend me your phone for a moment?
Yeah, it had to be this.
Huh? My phone?
Don't tell me GM would do something silly like try to launch a missile at them.
Yeah. I need it.
That's it? Why do you make it sound so serious?
Just to make fun, I think.
I was bracing myself for something big.
Sorry. You seemed awfully tense, so I wanted to lighten the mood. Don't you feel a bit more relaxed now?
Yeah, sure. I'm positively stress-free. Anyway, here.
So what's your plan? Well, I mean, I may upset it, but I don't think GM would do something like that. That would be dumb.
What do you need it for anyway? I really don't know anyone who could help us.
There's someone very powerful.
I know someone like that?
You certainly do. She sent you to us.
Hold on. Are you?
You can't go back there, so we might as well.
I'm going to contact her.
You should be safe here for a little bit at least.
Is that okay?
Yes, it's okay. You don't have to keep asking for my permission.
I think it's still good to do.
I told you. I'm willing to go through anything and everything. So hurry up and do it.
Thanks, Mori. I'll be right back.
You're not doing it here?
Yeah, why you need to go somewhere else?
I think I'll need a little privacy for our conversation.
Okay.
Uni, will you stay with Mori for a moment? It won't take long.
Unless whatever's in uni is such a big scandal. We'll see.
What's wrong, Uni? Do you not want me to go? I'm sorry, but I really must go. I have something to discuss with this individual. I think they may have a solution to our problem.
Yeah, 'cause that's the only reason you would leave uni here is because you're going to have to discuss that.
They should know a way for us to keep gluttony momentarily in check. Or, in other words, a perfect way for me to utilize my power.
What? I mean, would it feel? Would it stop because? Well, let's see.
So, please, could you stay with Mori for a moment? I'll be right back.
Okay. You feel nervous? Yeah. That makes sense.
Okay, Uni?
That makes sense. Yeah, and I didn't know if you two were cool now.
Uni?
What? Okay, let's hope nothing goes wrong there.
Maybe contacting this person isn't the right choice. No. I need to settle this once and for all. Even if only for Yuni's sake.
Okay.
I can't keep living in the dark, constantly under threat. I can't protect anyone like this. I can't save anyone. I can't achieve anything.
What the heck is this core?
It'll end up just like before. I'll only end up full of sorrow. I need power. I need to get stronger. Let's do this.
So it is. Oh, well, let's see. Let's see. Well, you know the code?
A message.
So Mori never read that. Got it. Knock, knock. Yeah, we saw this perhaps, or all this. It's nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. I'm Mihara. Sure, why not? Later. Okay, so not now. Dang it, of course. Hang on, let me take care of this real quick.